Joe, would you lead us in the flag salute, please?
Please repeat after me. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Sue, would you lead us in the invocation, please?
Certainly. Blessed Father, once again, we do thank you for allowing us to be here. We are blessed that we have a council that is so in touch with the community that there's so much good going on in this city right now, Father. We thank you for that. We thank you for the staff that works here. We just ask that you be with the people that don't have electricity right now because of the heat. What a debilitating thing that is when you have nothing to cool down with. We do thank you for the weather, though, Father, because it could be worse. We just ask that you keep your watch care over us and your loving arms around us. Amen.
But not much worse. It's been pretty warm.
It's hotter than the Haiti, that's
Oral communications, items on and not on the agenda.
You got to have
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Chavez?
Here.
Councilmember Schultz? Here. Councilmember Canada?
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Heckerman?
Here.
Mayor Prida?
Here.
You have a quorum.
Okay, oral communications, items on and not on the agenda. This is a time reserved for members of the audience wishing to speak on items on and not on the agenda. This period will be limited to 3 minutes per speaker. Maximum time allocated is 15 minutes. Anybody wishing to speak, please step forward and give us your name and address for the record.
Turn it off.
Being no one.
Madam Mayor, before we continue on with the agenda, we would like to add a item to the new business on the agenda. This is the subject of this agenda item is called the Growth Deputy Cost Adjustment. The information which we received, which warranted us presenting on the agenda, occurred after the agenda went out, but before the meeting tonight. So you are authorized to place this item on the agenda. You will need a 4/5 vote to put it on there. And I would recommend that we put it under new business for under F2. So if we can have a motion to place this item on the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Okay. On this one right here.
On the public hearings.
Okay. Item A, public hearings.
None.
Ordinances.
None.
C, resolutions. C1, adopt resolution number 062-2006, approving an agreement by and between the City of Hawaiian Gardens and Wilden Associates for Community Development Block Grant CDBG Administrative Services. Staff report, please.
Honorable Mayor, members of the City Council, as you may as you may be aware, Wildan,
Cell phone night.
the Wildan Group provides CDBG program administration. They do a lot of the reporting that we're required to submit to the county. So what you have in front of you is just a renewal of the agreement for them to continue to provide the service.
Move to wait for the reading and adopt resolution 062-2006.
Second.
Any discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. C2, adopt resolution number 063-2006, a request by the Community Development Department to award a contract Solly Miller Contracting Company in the amount of $373,163.48 for the 205-206 citywide pavement rehabilitation project on various streets. Staff report, please.
Yes, Honorable Mayor and members of the City Council, before you is the resolution number 63-2006, awarding a contract to Sully Miller, which would be for the 06-07 fiscal year overlay pavement, overlay payment for the various streets in the city, as indicated in the Exhibit A. We have anticipated that the construction cost would be about $500,000, and the low bid was $373,163.48. They anticipate a 45-day working days for completion of their project, and they should start as early as September. So staff recommends that you approve the resolution.
I'm going to move to waive further reading and adopt Resolution 063-2006.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Resolutions, C3, Resolution number 064-2006 regarding the temporary adopt housing of paroled and transient sex offender registrants and calling on the state legislature to adopt legislation to further protect children, families, and communities. Staff report.
Honorable Mayor and Council, we received this information from Artesia. Artesia and the City of Norwalk have both passed similar resolutions, and basically it would request that the California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation immediately stop the temporary housing of paroled and transient sex offenders near local schools. And hopefully this will go to the legislature eventually so that we can be notified before any of this happens, because now they're put everywhere. I mean, when they come out of jail or whatever, they're put by Disneyland, they're put by our local schools and so on. And this is just each city that is passing this, then we're hoping to send all this to Sacramento, and hopefully there'll be some type of legislation done to at least let us know what's going on before anybody is sent to our city.
That's become a hot button subject here just recently in Sacramento, too, so I imagine you're going to see some movement on it. But I'm going to move to waive further reading and adopt Resolution 064-2006.
All in favor?
Wait a minute, you got to have a second.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. C4, adopt resolution number 065-2006, approving pre-issued warrants and regular warrants in the amount of $778,223.32. Do I hear a
Move
motion?
to waive further reading and adopt Resolution 065-2006.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Chaidez?
Aye.
Councilmember Schultz?
Yes.
Councilmember Canada?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Heckerman?
Yes.
Mayor Prida?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. C5, adopt resolution number 066-2006, approving and directing the city clerk to destroy certain city records and documents pursuant to the Government Code of the State of California, City Administrator's Office, City Clerk, Community Development, Finance, and Community Redevelopment Agency. Do I hear a motion?
Move to waive further reading and adopt 066-2006.
Second.
Any discussion?
Yeah, don't burn the vault.
I would like to say that hopefully this is almost the final purge. This is the final purge of the vault and the file room. The amount of records we're keeping here are in our office right now to go through, and we're going to resort and reorganize. And everything else has gone to Iron Mountain so that it's preserved. But we, have, with the approval of the council, have shredded over 100 boxes of trash that we've saved since 1971. So
There ain't nothing left to file.
we can file everything in about 3 shelves now, but we'll start getting more files as the time goes by.
Okay, thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Consent calendar.
Is that to receive and file the consent calendar in its entirety?
Yes.
I'll second that.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. New businesses, consideration of quit.
Wait a minute, E1, discussion item.
E1, okay, approval of minutes,
Move it.
July
for
2nd,
July
2000.
11, 2006. Do I hear a motion?
You got the motion, I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. F1, new businesses, consideration of quitclaim deed from the ABC Unified School District to the City of Hawaiian Gardens regarding the Los Coyotes pedestrian bridge. Discussion?
Pass it.
No discussion.
Quick claim checked out all right, Aaron?
Yes, Councilmember Chides, if I can ask the council, we did want to delay bringing this before you because we wanted to expedite the process of this. Should the council proceed to approve this, please approve it subject to city attorney approval. There may be some things that I want to tweak on it, but at least it won't have to come back to you.
All right, I'm going to move approval of that item based on what our city attorney has asked us and told us.
Second.
Yeah, Mayor and council members, just a
F2.
brief note also, the school board has not authorized or approved the quitclaim deed also, but they will be agendizing it in August, in their meeting in August.
That's one of the reasons why we want to do this.
Yeah. This is going to be your item F2 right here.
But it's
Okay,
very
so
hopeful.
ask for the vote.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, we have
Item F2,
F2,
which is,
recommendation.
that's going to be known as growth deputy cost adjustment.
Okay, a subject growth deputy costs adjustment.
Honorable Mayor, members of the City Council, back in August 2004, I was directed to increase our deployment plan or level of service by adding an additional growth deputy unit. It was a 40-hour car. My understanding, it currently works the 3 p.m. to 5 a.m., no, wait a minute. I'm sorry, 5 p.m. to 3 a.m. shift. It's a 10-hour shift. And what happened originally when we first spoke to Captain Fender and worked out the details as far as contracting the unit, we were advised that we were going to be getting a discounted rate for the first year.
Yeah.
And after that, they were going to charge us the regular price for the service unit. So we've received the service for 2 years now, and now the sheriffs are requesting that we come up to par with the difference and start paying the actual cost of the unit, which is an additional 30.
It's 39,000.
Right, 39,000 and change. So I'm requesting that you authorize an appropriation of approximately $40,000 for the public safety budget.
I'm going to move authorization for that.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
And just one other thing to note, that unit acts as our reserve officer training unit.
Mhm.
So many times it's manned by 2 deputies. One, of course, is a
Good.
reserve officer that we get at no cost. So it's
Well,
very beneficial to us.
I've had several people ask me about how many we have patrolling and so on and so forth, and I tell them, as far as I know, we normally have at least 2 vehicles patrolling this area at all times, so.
Right.
And I've had a couple of complaints, what have you, but I've come to find out that they did not request that they be contacted after they came out, and so therefore they would not know whether they came out or not, So anyhow, I can assure the public out there that the deputies are doing their due diligence when they're called, because I have checked a couple times after the fact, and they've checked for me and gone through the record, and sure enough, they were out there. So if you don't see them, and it's not they haven't been there, it's just if you want to know whether they've been there, you have to let the deputy, when you call them, know that you want to be contacted. And you can do so not necessarily at your house. You can request a site off the side of your property to meet. So,
Item G, oral staff reports.
Yes, we do have staff reports today.
Yes, Madam Mayor and City Council, just a reminder from the Human Services Department about a few events that are taking place between now and the next City Council meeting. This Friday night, we're having our first of 3 concerts in the park. It's taking place at Ferguson Elementary School, starting at 6:30, and the group is appropriately entitled The Heat. Also this Sunday, July 30th, we're having our annual boxing show. It's going to be held in the gymnasium starting at 1 o'clock p.m. And the first weekend in August, Saturday, August 5th, and Sunday, August 6th, we're having our annual powwow event at Feddy Middle School. Saturday's hours are 12 noon till 10 p.m., and on Sunday from 12 noon until 6 p.m. So hope to see you in the public there.
Thank you.
Honorable Mayor and members of the City Council, just wanted to make a brief note regarding a code enforcement issue in the community, and that is that there's been an increase in the number of debris and litter that gets dumped in a public right-of-way, specifically with washers and dryers and couches that are just being dumped on the sidewalks or parkways. There's actually a procedure that we have in the city, and that is to call consolidated disposal, where they actually offer to pick up it's called a bulk item pickup, and they pick up as many as 4 items at a time, up to 4 times a year, and it's a free service that we get in the community. And they pick it up the same day that they pick up the trash. What's happening, though, is that they're just dumping it out there pretty much any time during the week, night, weekends, and it's just sitting out there. And the Code Enforcement Division is issuing citations for the people that do not call and go through the system. That citation is a $100 cite, and there are no warning notices issued for that type of violation. We have a zero tolerance policy when it comes to illegal dumping or graffiti. But I just wanted to let the community know that we do have a free program. Utilize it. It's free. It's part of our contract with Consolidated, and it works pretty well. And we get notified of all the residents that actually participate in the program every Wednesday morning. And then we go and drive throughout the community and see what's being picked up and what's not. But there's just been an excessive amount of debris being dumped on the sidewalks and parkways and just being left there, and also a lot of them in the alleys, too.
Yeah, and the public needs to be aware that it's not an automatic thing. You don't just put it out there with your trash and expect they're going to pick it up. They have to be notified. You have to call them several days ahead of time to request that service by them.
Right. We've notified residents in the past. We've made a special flyer, mailed it to other homes. We put it on cable. We'll continue to do that, but unfortunately, there's still folks out there just dumping it on the streets.
Oh, yeah. I see it myself sometimes.
That's all I have.
Okay. Oral council reports.
I do have a couple of things to report. You know, I'm the representative to the WIA, which is the Workforce Investment Act, and Salico PIC. I can tell you that I went to a meeting yesterday, and apparently Salico's funding has been cut 10%. So what they wanted to do, pass the budget yesterday, which was inclusive of eliminating the school district from providing the at-risk youth jobs program. And Salico wanted to directly operate that program. And I'm going to tell you that I wasn't too happy about that whole situation, because, you know, they just don't have the resources that the school district has. The school district has the facilities, and they literally donate their facilities, they donate their utilities, they donate their personnel, a lot of it, and they're well suited for that program. And I don't think PIC could equal what the school district was doing. And quite frankly, Mr. Crosley, the executive director for the PIC, wanted to eliminate the school districts, and he didn't provide a plan of what he was going to do with the money, other than confiscate the money. And so he asked people to pass the budget without eliminating the school districts, and have the PIC Salico directly operate the program. So I voiced my opposition to that, and Norwalk La Mirada School District and the ABC School District were there. And basically, I told them that, that the school district has a plan, they have a budget. They've done this thing for 30 years, and there's an old saying, if it isn't broke, don't fix it.
Right.
I don't believe that they've sent them any memos saying that they were inadequate in some kind of way, but Ron was trying to say that they were inadequate, but he never had any documentation showing that they were, and he didn't have any budget, he didn't have a proposal. And the policy board doesn't necessarily vote on this thing. They're there, we had a joint meeting together to listen to what was going on, and it was going to be a controversial kind of an item, and I can tell you that the WIB board does vote on it, but I voiced my opposition to that, and I told them that that if the WIB board passed this resolution, they're passing it with a pig in a poke, because they don't really know what Ron Crossley, the executive director, is going to do with the money, and what kind of services he's going to provide, since he didn't provide us any kind of budget or any kind of proposal. And the school districts have been doing it for 30 years straight. So I said, if this is how the WIB board does things, I said, then we are sadly mistaken as to how we approach things here with taxpayers' money. Well, it ended up that the WIB board passed the budget less that item. That they were going to negotiate with the school districts to figure out what they could do to keep the school districts included into the program. So that is the first thing I want to report to you about, let you know what's going on. It looks like the school districts will be participating in this situation in some kind of manner, which I'm happy about. And I did receive a call from the ABC School District office thanking me for my advocacy on their behalf. Tomorrow I have a JPA meeting, which will solidify a contract with a PR firm, which will provide a tape, if you will, or a promotional tape for the Joint Powers Authority. And so we're in the middle of doing that. We'll let you know what's going on with that. They're also going to do a promotional video for each one of the casinos if they so desire. So that'll be coming out, and we can use that promotional video for lobbying purposes in Sacramento, and to explain to people what we're doing here in at least within the Southern California area. And last of all is Bike for Life is continuing to go. You may have already heard that Target actually had a sale on bikes at $68 a piece. We put in the budget for $140 a bike, so that means we get twice as many bikes for the money that we're investing. We also found that there's an extra $10,000 Safe Streets grant that we can use for bikes also. So right now we're piling up the bikes, and I've already given out a lot of bikes that were used bikes, by the way, and that I've been refurbishing, but we did give away one new bike to a volunteer over at Leeware Park, a teenage girl who did some volunteer work and actually wrote an essay for the bike and was second runner-up, so we got her a bike. So it was a really good thing, and I think the program's coming right along, and with this bridge situation, the way it's going right now, we'll be able to open up that bridge and do some good things with it. So right now, Bike for Life is doing good, and we look forward to taking the kids out on the bridge and doing our thing. That's it.
Madam Mayor, I have something I want to say also. I've been called a couple of times regarding code enforcement and why they enforcing this thing this way or that way. I would strongly advise that for the people out there that don't understand the code enforcement, get yourself over here to City Hall, or you can go online, because it's online now. All the codes are there available online to be seen, so that you know what is happening. We're bringing everything into where it should have been a long time ago, beefing up some of the codes and what have you. And the idea is to try and clean the city up. And I don't know what argument anybody could have with that, but, and again, I want to reiterate that we have asked and demanded a fairness policy, that if you cite one for something, you cite them all for the same thing. That it's not willy-nilly and that it's not your favorite person that you let go or anything like that. So everyone eventually is going to be cited if you have a code enforcement problem. Simple as that. Until you come into compliance with the code. And if you're unaware of what the code is, please make yourself aware before you go, such as the awnings that people are buying and things like that. Make yourself aware before you go out and spend the money, because it may be illegal for you to erect it in the area of your property in which you want to do so. So just be aware and be careful and save your money. Come over here and look it up ahead of time. If you have other questions, you can always call up code enforcement over here, and they'll be glad to answer the questions for you. So I hope that'll help some out there that are watching.
Okay. Item G, oral staff reports, oral council reports.
We've got those.
H1, closed session.
Yes, Madam Mayor, we do have one closed session tonight under Government Code 54957, the Public Employee Performance Evaluation, and that would be the city administrator. We asked the council to recess this council meeting to the redevelopment agency, and then after that, the Public Housing Authority, and then we'll adjourn back to closed session.
Okay. Okay. So, go to community RDA.
RDA.
Open RDA.
Okay, I will call this Community Redevelopment Agency meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Director Chairez?
Here.
Director Schultz?
Here.
Director Canada?
Here.
Vice Chairmember Heckerman?
Here.
Chairmember Prida?
Here.
You have your quorum.
Thank you. Oral communications, items on and not on the agenda. This is a time reserved for members of the audience wishing to speak on agenda items on and not on the agenda. This period will be limited to 3 minutes per speaker. Maximum time allocated is 15 minutes. Anybody wishing to speak, please step forward and give us your name and address for the record. There being no one, we go to resolutions. A1, adopt resolution number 2006-021, approving pre-issue warrants and regular warrants in the amount of $21,948.02.
Move to approve.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? Roll call, please.
Director Chairez?
Aye.
Director Schultz?
Yes.
Director Canada?
Yes.
Vice Chairmember Heckerman?
Yes.
Chairmember Prida?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, thank you. B1, consent calendar. Motion to accept consent calendar in its entirety.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, C1, Community Development Department Commercial Rehabilitation Program, monthly report
No, no,
from
no.
May and June
Where?
2006.
C1. Presentation of the minutes.
C1, discussion items. Presentation of minutes, July 11, 2006.
Move it.
Second.
Any discussion? No discussion.
No discussion.
Keep going, John. Keep going.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. New business,
Nope.
closed session, oral staff reports, oral agency reports.
Nope. Move adjournment.
Second. The housing.
Now we go to public.
Moving right along.
Yeah, Carmela won't make it. She's in getting an operation. I think they're working on her shoulder or something. Carmela.
Tell me, yeah, she's going to have surgery.
Yeah. He's flipping off
She
people too.
she called the other night, and she's not feeling too well.
Like that. Yeah, Carmela, you shouldn't be doing that, man.
Okay. I will now call this regular meeting, Public Housing Authority. Roll call, please.
Director Canoy? Director Mahar?
Move that Director Mahar be excused.
Second.
Say,
Okay.
Director Chairez?
Here.
Director Schultz? Here. Director Canada?
Here.
Vice Chairmember Heckerman?
Here.
Chairmember Prida?
Here.
You have a quorum.
Okay, thank you. This is a time reserved for members of the audience wishing to speak on agenda items. This period will be limited to 3 minutes per speaker. Maximum time allocated is 15 minutes. Anybody wishing to speak, please step forward and give us your name and address for the record. There being no one. A1, resolutions. Adopt resolution number 2006-011, approving warrants and housing assistance payments for the total of $69,211.78.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Director Canoy? Director Chairez?
Aye.
Director Schultz?
Yes.
Director Canada?
Yes.
Vice Chairmember Heckerman?
Yes.
Chairmember Prida?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay. Motion to accept consent calendar in its entirety.
So move.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Now we got
Aye.
all right. Now we got a bunch of meetings. C1.
Okay. Discussion item C1, approval of minutes, May 23rd, 2006.
Move it.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Keep it going, John. Keep it going.
Keep it going.
May 25th?
Move it.
Second. Double
All in
move.
favor?
Aye.
Aye.
June 13th?
Go to Willard.
Move it.
Second.
Any discussion? June 22nd?
Move it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Item D, new businesses, closed session, oral staff reports. Okay. Do we now go to closed?
Now we go to closed session.
Okay.
I did have,
Move adjournment of the, what, housing. What,
I did have one item I wanted to talk.
Okay.
I wanted to let the council know about it because I think it might be something we could pursue and try to get implemented. And that was with Friday and Saturday nights in the summer and the way things are going right now in town. I thought it would be a good idea to implement a midnight basketball program. Okay. And starting around 10 o'clock or 12 o'clock at night, going to about 6 in the morning, okay, on a Friday and Saturday night, maybe offering our guys who are out in the street, hot dogs on that night to get them into the gym to play basketball. Maybe we can curb the crime rate down on a Friday and Saturday night, okay, and I figure out we could probably get 2 shifts of part-timers in there, and we can provide some security, not necessarily the sheriff's department, with all due respect to the sergeant, but maybe if we could probably put some security guards or so around there and kind of alleviate the fear of people coming in and being busted. At least we could provide security at the same time and let the sheriffs know that that's what's happening and get some of these kids off the street in the early morning hours, and it might make it also make it a little easier on the deputies so they don't have to, turn around every corner and see somebody sneaking around doing something. Maybe we can get them inside the gym playing some basketball. Who knows? We can maybe get Pick Salico in there to do some job outreach and job training, But I'm thinking that, that might be a way to try to curb the crime rate and do something that's positive out there for some of these guys. And I don't want the residents taking, or the non-residents taking over the gym. I'd like to see a lot of them residents, if we could limit the amount of non-residents. And though I would ask that non-residents be allowed, but on a percentage basis. I wouldn't want to charge them any money because they might be friends of the residents, and it might be a good thing to get everybody in there feeling good about playing basketball, and put some bump and grind music out there in the gym, and throw some hot dogs out there, and let them play basketball till they're pooped out until 6 in the morning. I've already volunteered for everything else, but I think it's a good idea. I think it gets the guys off the street. And
Yeah, especially when I find out that we had a young 17-year-old standing out on the street at 4:30 in the morning, got
4:30 in
shot
the
in the
morning.
arm. So,
If he was
and
playing basketball,
that's not a secret. That was in the newspaper. So,
I think Glenn could do that.
Honorable Mayor and Council, Councilmember Chidas did speak to me earlier today about his idea, and I have directed Mr. Gomez to do the research and get started with the program. So
sounds good.
we're on our way.
Anything to get them off the
Yeah,
streets
him
and
off
get
the
them.
street. Would be a novel program.
We got to keep trying, guys.
Yeah. I'll be there one of those nights, serving hot dogs.
I don't know what, maybe past my bedtime, but
Oh, believe me, it's past my bedtime.
we'll see.
And who's going to provide the hot dogs? Are you?
We're going to provide the hot dogs.
city.
The city.
The city's going to provide. Hot dogs are cheap, 20 cents.
Well, yeah, I'm not.
You buy them in
it's-
bulk.
And that's
It's
not a
cheap
good
enough
idea,
if it-
But are you going to be cooking the hot dogs?
We got staff to cook the hot dog.
I know big.
I don't have to do everything. I'm
Get a
already
big-
making bikes, remember?
Get a big pot of water.
You might as well stick to cooking.
talking Why don't-
on Friday
The
and
bikes was his
Friday
idea
and
too.
Saturday.
Yeah.
Hot dogs.
Friday and Saturday. then.
I can't do everything. We got staff to do that stuff. Believe it or not, that's what they're getting paid for, I thought.
You're talking about Friday and Saturday?
Friday and Saturday nights.
Sounds good to me.
I don't think I can stay up that late.
We did have that program at one time before. I
Yeah, I think
remember.
so, yeah. Pull it off.
I think
Yeah.
it's a good idea to reinstitute it, especially during the hot summer nights and everything.
Hey, it might curb the crime rate.
Yep.
We did have it.
Good idea.
Take a load off of the sergeant, Hey, Sergeant, maybe they'll be too pooped to do anything during the day.
Well, it sure might help them too, So,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay.
Sounds good to me. Now I'll move adjournment of housing until, August 8th, 2006?
No,
Or
22nd.
August 22nd? Okay, August 22nd, 2006? Okay. We adjourned?
Yep.
We're adjourned.
The city council did conduct a closed session authorized under the government code under 54957 regarding city administrator evaluation. And it is my pleasure to announce that the city council took action in which, on a vote of 5-0, appointed Ernesto Marquez as the permanent city administrator for the city of Wine Gardens. The city council also approved a draft agreement, which will be coming back to the next council meeting for approval, but has approved various terms thereof, including compensation in an amount of $155,000 per year, benefits which are consistent with all the other city employees, and basically that the city administrator would not be terminated 90 days after an election, and that any termination of the city administrator would be done on a 4/5 vote at a duly authorized public meeting by the city council. That concludes my presentation, Madam Mayor, and I'll be happy to make the provision changes as directed by the city council at the next meeting in which you can approve this contract. That concludes my presentation.
And in case any of our audience out there has any thoughts or qualms or anything, we think this is the best city administrator this city's ever had.
I don't know, man. I don't work in the midnight.
Move adjournment.
It's after midnight.
After midnight.